Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Today we do part 3 on my automation series in Cubase Pro 9.5. There's 2 previous videos that have some good content, so check those out. Today in this video we're going to cover the drawing tools, bezier curves, and how you modify automation points. So let's get started. So I've got a little project with simple drums and bass line here. I want to draw some automation, so we get an automation lane with this little thing. You can keep adding different automation lanes and then select what automation you want to affect. So we'll keep this one at volume. We get our pen tool by clicking here or pressing the number 8, or even if you have the object selection tool on there and hold down Alt, does the same thing, get the pen tool. And this is as simple as drawing in there. So that is the pretty self-explanatory. Now the number of points is affected by the reduction level. So as you see here, I've got it reducing a bunch, 100%. So that's a bare minimum it can reduce it to. You want to keep all of your, if you want it more granular. So I'm going to go back to my track, hold down Alt. So we've got a lot of points. When I let go, it's going to look about like that, you know. It's going to look exactly like that. So it did not reduce them at all. See, in this part, we're reduced to the bare minimum. So if you need more detailed control, mess with that reduction level. For smooth curves, the fade outs that aren't linear, you know, I would use bezier curves for that. So let's just do it right now. So we'll get rid of a few of these. So you see between any 2 points, there's this dot. This is your bezier curve. So let's get rid of a couple more so you can really see it. And this is affected by the zoom level. So make sure you're zoomed in well enough to see that. If you're not, they go away. So anyway, zoomed in, I can click with my object selection tool and make a nice, beautiful curve, however you want. So that is a welcome addition, and I don't know if that's affected by snap or not. Let's see. No, it isn't. Okay, so yes, you can freely move it and get it exactly how you want. Don't worry about snap. So that was added in 9.5, maybe 9, fairly recently. So, and it's a welcome addition. So before bezier curves, you have the beautiful line tool. And you can see if you hold it down or click on it, you get the line tool, parabola, triangle. And so you used to use the parabola tool to do curves. You can see that. And that's with a reduction level of 0. So that's basically as smooth as you can get it. It's not very smooth. I mean, you're not going to really hear that, but you know, technically it's not a smooth curve. So depending on what you're doing, and if by default people leave this reduction level, I think it's at 50 by default. If you have it set, we'll go to the extreme, 100. It's going to give you the bare minimum. So now I do that same curve, and you can see it did that with 1, 2, 3 segments. So that definitely is not very smooth. So anyway, the reduction, so I do not even use this tool anymore. So the other thing, let's see, well, basic line tool is pretty obvious. You click and hold and you go to point, and that is affected by your snap. You can see when I click and hold, it's going to the bars. If I move this to beats, now I can do beat by beat. So that is affected by the snap. So that is useful. The sine wave tool is basically like the parabola, except a full wavelength. And you can, if you hold down Shift and then drag your mouse, you can actually affect the frequency. So, and that I believe is also affected by snap. So turn snap off and do the same thing, holding down Shift. Now you can see it's not snapping to my quantized value, which lets you do frequency. So Shift does your frequency, and then once you find the frequency that you want, you take your hand off Shift and continue dragging, and you can adjust how far the amplitude basically by dragging up and down. So I want that. So that's its curve with a reduction level of 100. Do the same thing with 0. Hold down Shift to get that back there. Okay, reduction level of 0 is going to look a lot better. Still not perfect. I would use the parabola. So if you want to duplicate a smooth curve, I would actually do a bezier curve. I would use the line tool. Just clear it. And then I would draw a line. Let's get rid of some of these. So I would draw a curve that I actually liked with the bezier curve. And then, so you can add a point by just clicking on it. So I wanted to do a curve up here. And then you could smooth this out. So anyway, so you could do that. And if you wanted to actually have it smooth, like do a full cycle, you would actually need a midpoint here. And you got one bezier curve up here doing this. You got the other one doing this. This is not a very good curve. Not my best curve, but you get the point. So you would basically draw a curve that you like, switch over to your range tool or hit number 2, select it, Control D, duplicate, so you can put that in. So if you make one nice one and want to continue it, that comes in handy. So anyway, so that the other, clicking that tool is triangle and square wave. Still useful. Triangle works the same way as the sine wave tool. Hold down shift, changes your frequency. Let go of shift, extends it out. There we go. That's without very much reduction on this tool, or no, that's actually with a lot of reduction. I believe that's probably 100. Let's check. Reduction level. Oh, vice versa. How much it reduces it? 0. So you notice with a straight line, for some reason, it doesn't reduce it to a straight line, which is odd, and I think it kind of possibly a bug or oversight. But we go to a reduction level of 100. That means it's going to reduce what I draw with the triangle tool 100%. And watch how much better it will actually look. So hold down shift, get it how I want it, let go of shift, and watch what this looks like. Oh, that actually looks like a triangle. So the reduction level actually hurts in this respect. So I guess the point is make sure you remember that that little thing is there. It does the same thing with the square wave, works the same way. And this actually used frequently. So you want to mute something, anything that does not have a constant value. It has either just 2 on or off. This comes in handy because now you can tell it, hey, go turn on or off. I could change this to mute. Where's mute? Now you see it's muted on or off. So you can do glitchy little effects there and have mute come on and off, you know, periodically or however you want to do it. Okay, so you got your selected range. Once that's selected, right in the middle, you'll see a scale vertically. So this is actually going to scale all the points in the range vertically. And this is volume, so this is amplitude. So you can scale by going to the middle. You can move. So this is moving the volume points down, all of them down to 0. You see, there's a slight difference because this, the lower level moves less when you're scaling. So you can also, if you go to the corners here, you get tilt left. So this can be useful if you want to fade something in, or you can do a tilt. There's a tilt on the other side. And holding down Alt will do the same thing as compressing does. So now you can see, but we're doing it more on this side than we are over here. So along with that, if you go to the middle on the right side, you have scale around absolute center. So this midpoint is absolute center. If I click there and hold and drag down, it's going to compress everything to that center point. If you drag up, now you're expanding, so creating a larger difference. So now the cool thing, and this is actually very useful, you can also, if you hold down Alt, you're going to, and see the little tool tip, we're going to hold down Alt and we'll scale around a relative center. So the relative center is going to be the midpoint between the lowest value selected. That would be this. Let's actually move that up. Just so I can show you. So the midpoint between the lowest value and the highest value. So that would be around here somewhere. So you can see if I go over here and I hold down Alt, click the mouse, drag down, it's going to compress everything to that center point between those values. So go the other way, now you expand it. So that is good to know. There's a million different ways to use that. Creating variation, making your drum stuff sound, and when it's still MIDI, you can even do it this way, but a lot of times what I'll do is have some randomization in there, and then with the compress tool, you can either increase that variation or decrease it, smooth it out. So you can use that for tempo tracks, smooth out timing. So there's a lot of great ways to use that. It's fairly awesome. Anyway, so that's the basics of, not the basics. Hopefully I covered it in depth enough and it made sense. But I think between those 3 videos, we have covered pretty much every aspect of automation in Cubase Pro 9.5. And thank you for watching. If you have a suggestion or something to add to this or another video you would like me to do, put it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. So thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.